All right, we're at the day 4 of the Formula Kite Youth European Championships. Hey, down. I am Chris Museler. Benoit Gomez. What's up, Benoit?
All good, and you?
Really good. Okay, we got some racing to do here. What a dramatic afternoon. We went from everybody having a little pump foil sessions, pump foil racing.
Frisbee,
yeah, we were doing live. I think you saw maybe earlier some live interviews with people. You can take a look here on the water here. What do you think, around 7 knots?
Actually, we can see some white caps in the water, so yeah, should be more around 10 knots now. So
yeah, and you can see a little haze there. Our nostrils are being filled with campfire smell. To windward of us, what's that, to the north, there is a ton of smoke in the air, like literally a lot. Off wind around 8 to 10 knots or so, and that's why you see that haze on the screen. But the race committee boat is just getting anchored right now. We are not far from men's race 13, so we should have 4 races today, closing out the overall the first series, the opening series, and there's a lot at stake here.
yeah, so today main start first, so will be interesting. The tight for the battle for the men is really tight. So
let's go through it.
Yeah, so if you look at the ranking, it's pretty tight between the boys. We have Max, which is sitting in the front as always, with 7 bullets. Then we have Riccardo Pianozzi with 18 points. And Jan Stragiotti following close, only 1 point difference. So yeah, they are really close, the 3, and the second place is really important for tomorrow.
Yeah, let's get into that. So if you look at these scores right here, you see Jan Stragiotti, what's the point difference? 1 point. But
yeah,
that 1 point is everything. The first 2 places in both the men's and women's at the end of today go straight to the finals tomorrow. They're going to wait all day for these other qualifiers to go away. 3rd place goes straight to the semifinals. Is that correct?
Semifinal, yeah. So semifinal means that you still need to win a race before going in the final. And as we know in our class, everything can happen in one race.
Absolutely. And then as we go down that list for both men and women, here is the top 4 right now. Is that who we're looking at? If we go through this list, then what you're seeing is the other important metric is 9th through 4th place. So that's the most important thing to get yourself into. If you look at this spreadsheet right here, look at 9, 8, 7 in the opening series, okay, get to go to this repechage race. And in this repechage race, you will also have 10th through 39th in the men's have to race off to get that 1 spot at the bottom. It says winner of the golden ticket race.
Yeah, the golden ticket race is the brand new format we have this quarter, so it's a test. The idea is everyone will have a race tomorrow and everyone can go into the final. So it's super interesting. So basically everyone is racing, first man, first woman arrive, then you get your spot for the top 10 and then going to the repechage.
Right, but if you see the number of races going on here, if you get in a 10th place right now, who is that? That's Carl Mader sitting on 10th place. He is outside of the opportunity to go straight into that repechage. He would have to go into that big fleet race that's between the men, which is 10 through 39, and the women 10 through 16 to try to get that 1 golden ticket.
Yeah, exactly. We'll go more in detail tomorrow morning on all how this new format works, because it's quite complicated to understand at the first point, but you will see it's not that hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we should have a race soon for the boys. So yeah, let's see. The wind is on. I think most of the riders are already in the water.
So with 4 races, looking at the scores here, I mean, 8th, 9th, 10th, and a little bit 11th. You know, the Polish, the British, the Swiss, and another Polish rider, that is the bubble.
For them, so for them is the battle to stay in the top 10 or top 9 or to go back in the top 9.
Yeah.
And then for the second position between Riccardo and Jan. Yeah. So that's really what we have to focus today on, I think, is this battle for the 9th position and the 2nd position.
Yeah, I think 4th through 7th, they can't really do much to improve their position. I mean, maybe they can like really have a couple bad races and get pushed back, but they definitely can't really launch forward.
I mean, yeah. So we have the repêchage, we have the quarterfinal, then the semi-final. So better position you have, more option you have to be.
No matter what, right? No matter what.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha. I love that. All right, so here we are on the water.
This is Darren. So
yeah, Darren from Turkey.
She's
Turkey,
already, yeah, she have a so now she's sitting on the second position. She did a really nice battle with Lisa Caval on the first day of the event. So it's nice.
Yeah,
looking
and
at the camera with the coach Thomas.
Yep, the women are racing second. So women's race 13 is coming up after this. We are just setting up our race committee, but waiting to hear from them to find out how much time we have and keep talking about what's going on today. We're going to try to get, here we are with the leaderboard for the women. There will be the second race tonight. It's well after 5 o'clock. But like we said, Lisa and Darren with 13 and 14 points. 23 points is the next place. 23 points is next place behind them. They're pretty launched, don't you think?
Yeah, honestly, the top two will be pretty hard for the other one to reach it. So they are quite good today. But as we say, everything can happen. Especially here, we have a lot of seaweed. Unfortunately, the last days. So yeah, let's hope they will have races and having big battle. It was super nice to see it yesterday from the boats. So yeah, let's hope we'll have the same on the TV today.
And if you look at the points here, 9th, 10th, 11th. 1 point between the bubble to see who gets to stay in the top 9 and who has to go to that one massive golden ticket race, which actually I think is so cool.
Yeah, it's super nice. The previous quarter, we didn't have this opportunity of this golden ticket race because the problem is when you was out of the top 10, most of the time you was not racing on the last day. And the good thing with this one is that everyone have to change the last day. So I think this is really important. Everyone is staying and racing the last days. This is something really cool for everyone.
Yeah, and the Formula Kite commentator, Andy Rice, who all these riders and all the viewers love so much, I heard that he came up with that idea to keep everyone around, to give another option. So shout out to Andy for coming up with that fantastic idea. And, you know, Emma Rennie from Great Britain in 8th place, she's on that. You know, she's in 8th place, so she actually has a really good shot at just staying well clear there. It was nice to see Emma and Ella Geiger from Great Britain. We spoke with them a little bit. The next generation of the British Formula Kiters with their gold medalists.
Yeah, I mean, young people, they have to start now. We have already Elliot Ridge who get the gold medal Olympic game, which is nice. So you have to. And yeah, I'm pretty sure there is one of her in this list, so it's nice.
Fantastic. All right, so we can even feel it now finally here on the beach. We thought it was just way out there on the water, but now we got 10 knots on the beach. We still got a lot of that smoky smoke smell. I guess we can tell that looking at the screen. But you can see that's Max Mader. Is that Max?
Yeah, it's Max with the yellow bib.
Yep.
So yeah, they are all warming themselves in the water. They are testing right side, left side of the course, checking the seaweed, and testing the start line and the buoy. The ley line is super important to be in the water before the race to know where you have to go, where you not have to go, because it's important also. Sometimes there is no wind on some spots.
Cool. Well, I am new to this, like I told you, but I've been learning a lot from you and from all the other racers. Yesterday, when we found in that kind of bigger kites, puffier conditions, a little bit offshore, that there was some separation in the fleet. We talked about both men and women, those top 3 places, when they were pushing each other hard, they were all going right for the correct puff all the time. The rich were getting richer. And then there was big gaps between those top groups yesterday because, like you were saying, maybe it was that in those groups, you don't necessarily have so much choice. So you have to go out maybe on a little bit of a flyer to get around the pack in front of you. And is that why we're seeing some gaps? And do you think we'll see some gaps in the same situation here?
Yeah, when it's light, the wind is light, but there is some gust, and being the first most of the time means that you get the good gust at the right moment. So this is why it's really important to go in the water before checking the water, and if someone doing it, there is a lot of chance that he will take the right lift at the right moment. So this helps a lot, and you can have easy 100 meters lead at the end of the first lap.
So it's not like necessarily that those top riders that we've been seeing, you know, Lisa and Darren and the women, and Max and Ricardo and John, that they're like way faster than everyone. It's more like with a good start and a little bit of an advantage, then they're extending.
Well, they are faster. They are spending a lot of time in the water. They are doing international competition at the highest level, so they have some skills. They are going fast. But yeah, the option in the water, there is some option. If you're taking the right one, then you can be in the front from far. But yeah, if you don't line up, they will not be 5 knots different upwind. It's really small details that make the difference. So yeah, we have 4 minutes 40 before the start. So this will be the race 13 for the men.
Fantastic. And, you know, on these starting lines, I mean, it's like any other race. You racers are really picking out if there is, you know, a 5-degree advantage at the pin end of the line and the breeze is pretty even, the top riders are going to start at the leeward or pin end of the line. Is that correct?
Yeah, so basically we have a start line which have a certain length, and you need to choose on where you want to take your starts. For example, the line can have a lift on one side or not. Better for you to start on the pin, you will have a small advantage. That could make the difference when you will tack. You will be in front of the rest of the fleet.
Well, one rider we know was itching to get out was Stradianti, and the reason why is because he's in 3rd place, 1 point behind Riccardo Pianossi, and he was standing. It's like the moment the first puff.
The line is good for 30 seconds, and 5 seconds before the start, the wind is changing completely. So you need to anticipate, try to read the water, and to see if you have a patch coming. But yeah, it can make a huge difference at the end.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit about Gian. I mean, he's a pretty young rider, Stradiati from Switzerland.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but looking at his past results, he's been doing better all the time. But man, he's been so consistent. All these 3s and 2s in his scoreline. I mean, does it surprise you that he's pushing Riccardo Pianossi so much?
Yeah, it's a really impressive rider. So I was with him 2 months ago in Transi for Kite World Series event, and we already started to battle with him. Before it was well, but not on the top 10 world level. And we did few events together, and he really increased level by a lot.
What do you think it is? He was talking about his starts. He just kept saying, I was strong on my starts. I was consistent on my starts. Is that something that he's always been good at, or you think that's what's making the difference for him right now and he's always been fast?
Wow. A lot of different settings that make it better, and I think he have a really amazing upwind angle down. Yeah, I mean, now he knows, and yeah, he learns super fast. So yeah, now all the rider is fighting with him. Last week again in Calgary, we had a good fight. Really nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you can see now all the kite on the left side. So there is before the start. So basically, they will do 45 seconds more on the left. They will do the maneuver for a starboard start. Huh?
Well, and yes, it seems like it's pretty risky to do a port tack start.
Yeah, it's always risky. Yeah. You can win a lot, but you can lose. Of Ricardo and Jan, like it's better sometimes to be close to the guy that you need to look at. Like this, you can try to control him and being in front of him.
But I heard that port tack starts are underrated. Like people, when it works.
Yeah, it works.
1 minute.
See everyone tack already. They're already on the way for the start line. So the start. 2 ribs close to each other, and this is the pin. So they are getting slowly to the starting mark. I think they will go quite a lot. Will go to the pin. We'll see how it looks, but yeah, fleet is pretty dense. We can see the new Kite and some old Kite also.
Yep, all the lime kites you see are the old kites. I think we might be a little bit off on our timing. Do you think they look like they're within 10 seconds, or you think the clock looks about right to you?
No, I think the clock is right. So yeah, they are quite in advance.
Let's say 8 more
Second before it
seconds.
starts. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. We can see all the kites are going down. Whoa, what a nice start.
Yeah, fantastic. We've got Max Mader up at the top of the line at the boat, winning the boat. Carl Mader, who's in 10th position, really working hard to try to get into that 9th, so he doesn't go to get the golden ticket. But looking at this, I'm trying to zoom to get a handle on it. We have our first kites out onto port.
Yeah. Offshore, so they have to, if they go to the shore, maybe the wind. If you go,
We got he had a really great beginning of his event, and then he just dropped a little bit to 5th. He was in 2nd for a little while. So from the pin up, we got Lucas Fonseca on as well, and then off his hip, Riccardo Pianosi and Gian Stragiotti. Pianosi just ahead of Stragiotti. That's who Gian. Them. So Carl's doing his best to try to get deeper into 9. He's in 10th right now, but Gian past Riccardo Pianosi. We see that Lucas Fonseca, everyone's still on starboard here.
and they're all tacking now.
Starting to tack.
Yeah, we can see Riccardo with the black kite.
Carl Mader was one of the first tack. Gian Stragiotti tacks.
So yeah, it's super interesting. They didn't went pretty far on the ley line, so we will see. Now you can really see the lead.
Do you think they're underneath the ley line? The port tack ley line?
They're under, but I mean, they are fine. They have to do another tack to get the buoy. So
Okay, no matter what.
Yeah, for now it don't matter. The next one is more important.
Cool. And let's see who's way there on the left, just in case there's a ship.
Yeah, it's always
shift.
interesting.
Jan Voster.
Yeah, so the riders going on the right side could be interesting. It's always nice to keep an eye on them.
But definitely right now we see there's no one far right that can threaten. Max seems that he really capitalized on that tack and has Lucas Fonseca on his hip on port tack. More than half the fleet is on port tack right now. Pianosi is now to weather of Gian Stragiotti. Yeah. It looks like he's going to be able to stay on top of him.
I think it will be tight. The port are coming. There is Mani Mattia coming also on the. He's already on starboard, so we will see how it will go. The crossing. It's super interesting to see. Some rider already start to tack.
Yeah, and Matthias Miani on that starboard tack ley line. He's about like 8 to 10 boats, 10 boards in front of him.
Yeah, we can see now Max with the yellow bib tacking, Riccardo with the black kite.
Okay, you're right. Those starboard tackers, Riccardo did a great job, and Jan did a great job tacking right on the ley line. Max Mader looks like he overstood the ley line.
Max have really good position now. We can see Jan with the red bib and Riccardo with the blue bib with the black kite. Yeah, it will be hard. Looks Max it's quite in front, so it will be fine. But for Ricky, Jan, and Vojta, it's
a
quite
tight ley line. So first weather mark, Max Mader rounding in first, the guy with the most number of first. They just rake it. Riccardo Pianosi, who's in second overall, rounds in second. Lucas Fonseca and Gian Stragiotti in third and fourth. Stragiotti really wants to beat Riccardo Pianosi, wants to grab that second position. He's only a point behind, but he's got a lot of work to do. The Brazilian is between them. Then Jan Voster and Carl Mader doing his best to try to get out of 10th and get into 9th or 8th or something like that to avoid that golden ticket race.
Yeah, they are now going almost 27 knots downwind.
They're ripping.
Pretty good for the wind we have.
Can you tell from that wind speed, from that board speed, what the wind speed is?
Well, I think now, yeah, it's between 8 to 8 to 10 knots, maybe a little bit less.
Cool.
But super interesting. Max is he have a really nice lead.
The way
Riccardo went a little bit more low, as you can see on the tracking. So yeah, we'll see how it's go. There is no one went really on the right side.
Yeah, and Riccardo seems to be coming up to Max's line. So somehow Max tapped into a puff that a lot of them didn't have. He was going higher but faster forward. A lot of extension here on this downwind leg. The way that beat worked out, Max just positioned himself really well. He went just past everyone, maybe overstood the ley line just a little bit, but had enough speed to start extending again once
yeah,
he
Max had Max really have a really nice lead now. It will be hard for the other one to keep up with him, but yeah, he do a Max.
yeah. Well, let's look back in this fleet. Mattia Miani.
You can really see the Max, and then there is 200 or 300 meters, and then the rest of the group.
Exactly, yeah. A big extension right off the bat here. But again, let's look at the back of the pack. Mattia Miani is, you know, he was in 9th, and now Carl Mader in 8th place here.
Okay, they're arriving on the jibe now.
Cool.
Jibing for Max.
But look at how tight that pack is of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ricardo's jibing.
A lot of changes can happen
Jan
here.
went just in front of him. Oh, the wind looks really light now.
Okay, let's take a look at this.
Look, they are pumping to get the buoy, so they are all a little bit
they understood, overstood. How would you say that?
under the line, yeah.
Under ley line, yeah.
So they have
that
to
means
pump a little bit. Now they get some speed.
they're trying to go deeper, lower.
Yeah, you can see the Ricky's pumping is quite good. There is Jan making a jibe because it's really too low.
Yeah, let's zoom in on
Jibe
that.
again.
Can you tell who is who here, my buddy?
Oof, that will be a cross.
Yeah, Straggiati gets ahead of Pianossi on that jibe in the middle of the course. But like you said, it's really light down there. Max Mader already rounding in first with quite a bit of extension. What do you think that lead is? That's like a 100-meter lead?
Yeah, he have 100, 150 meters lead. Jan is second now.
John in second, Lucas Fonseca in third, Riccardo Pianossi fighting for that second place, John. Just putting one place between him and Riccardo Pianossi.
Ricardo went on one side and now everyone is talking. So yeah, we'll see if the tack was right to do it now or not.
Carl Mader still in 8th place. We really want to see how that works out. He was in 10th, outside of the top 9. That makes it a little bit easier to move forward. And people that were ahead of him, Mattia Miani and Pierre Zermek. From Poland, those guys are ahead of Carl Mader in the standings, but we'd really like to see what happens here. Carl's trying to beat them into the top 9.
Yeah, it's really tight race. It's really tight race between for the second, third, and fourth position. So we can see some people tacking also in the middle of the race course. They are trying to get some lift.
Well, let's see how this, as we see this beat shaping up, we've got Gian Straggiati covering Riccardo Pianossi. That was a position change on that last little bit of that downwind leg. Carl Mader's heading out to the left in a great position to
you
move
can see,
up the ranks.
Look, the angle of wind is not getting super nice, so I think the wind drops a little bit now.
Do you think it's a drop or a big shift to the right, maybe? Or both?
To be honest, it don't look really strong in the water when they have to pump after the tack.
Okay, gotcha.
And now Jan is getting a good position on Ricardo to control him. We can see a kite in the water swimming.
Gotcha. So this is kind of like what we were talking about yesterday. We start to see those gaps in the fleet when it gets light, holes in the wind. The leaders maybe might be able to find a little bit, you know, wind seeking and find it where the others are kind of forced to take those scraps.
Yeah, they have a little bit more experience, so they are trying to read more the water than the other one. The other one are just pushing and don't really choosing where they go. But yeah, now this rider, they are checking the right spot to go. Especially when you go downwind, you can see if there is a lift on one side or the other side, and then you can try to get the benefit of this lift on the upwind also.
Yep, absolutely. Well, here we are. We have the fleet a little bit split. Who is all the way over there? Votek, Koska on the left side. Said these are tough. These are brutal angles. We see kites going in and out of the water. So Votek is doing okay. He's moved up through the fleet, but he's on the left side with a really horrible angle. But let's see how that top group is working out. Actually,
yeah, wow, it's impressive. The angle of wind you can see between Mattia and the top guys, the wind is not the same. So
yeah,
looks like it's interesting racing out there.
Yeah, really wide angles. Max is doing a great job staying on top of it.
They are not attacking because they didn't do the right ley line. So wow, the wind looks really light there.
When it's this light, do you ever jibe instead of tack.
If we have to do it, it's not a good sign for us, to be honest.
But
yeah.
that's the bottom of everything, right?
Yeah, I don't think we'll race if the wind is in like this.
Gotcha. Okay, so I think maybe Stradiati, Riccardo Pianosi learned from that last beat. They tacked much further past what the computer's saying the ley line is, and Max Mader went even farther than he did last time. That's because it's lighter,
Yeah,
right?
Max will try to get a good slingshot from the buoy as he know how to do it. So he arrived a little bit higher to get some speed.
These are 20 knot range, 18 to 21 knots. That's not crazy fast for upwind, is it?
No, it's not crazy, but yeah, the wind don't look super strong. And
here
yeah,
we go. Max Mader rounding the next windward mark in first again. Gian Stradiati.
Yeah, Riccardo went on the third position, so he get one spot upwind.
Yeah, Lucas Fonseca back in 10th, 11th, 12th position.
There are three of them are jobbing to go on the right side of the course for the downwind. Will be interesting to see how it's look.
So do you think that's just a sign where the leaders of this beat came out of the right side?
Now I can tell you they don't have a lot of wind.
Okay. Is it because they look like they're going back upwind?
But it almost looks like they're going upwind now.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's just the shakes. We are at the end of the day. All these thermal transitions that are happening here, you know, at Torre Grande, and we have this smoke coming down from the shore. A lot of things are changing right now at the end of the day. It looks like they just tapped into a little bit more breeze, heading a little bit more downwind, but this is where we're seeing those stretched out groups of the top 2 or 3 right now.
Yeah, it will be super interesting to see how this race will end. Especially we see a lot of kite in the water.
But
So,
Lucas Fonseca, it must have been horrible in second or third place for a little while.
yeah, because he had to do another tack. Oh, I think Riccardo put the kite in the water.
Okay, let's see what that looks like here. Yep, Pianosi,
40 knots.
Pianosi, what a disaster.
Yeah.
What a disaster. Gian Stradiati in second place, pushing all the way around the course, just light enough that anything can happen, right, with these kites low in the water going downwind.
Yeah, I mean, they're a really tough battle between those two, so they're trying to be in front of each other, but sometimes it's better to slow down, get your third place secure, and do more race, because now, when you're doing a race like this, it's not super nice for your ranking.
What a tragedy for Riccardo Pianosi. Oh, that poor guy. But let's see, he's losing 2, 3, 4 places.
Well, now he's in the water. You can see the speed 0.6 knots.
Yep. That could be a throw out for the Italian. But Max Mader and Gian Stradiati, Gian was just jonesing to get out on the water, and he's got a bit between his teeth right now. He's pushing Max Mader super hard, which has been great. The two have been together the whole week.
Yeah, two will be. Yeah, I think these two will go straight into the final. I think Riccardo make really big mistakes to try to overtake him and putting the kite in the water. But the wind is super light now.
Let's talk about Jan Voster. You know, he was playing both beats on the left side of the course, just kind of staying out of the pack. Tell me a little bit about Jan.
Yeah, so Jan's same. He's a really young rider and starting to pushing really well. He was with us in Transi and in the Swiss Championship last month, and he's starting to ride really well.
Here we go.
Yeah, so now they're on the way to the finish line. The red mark is the downwind mark, and now they go to the finishing mark.
Beam reach to the finish. Kites really low. Fog or smoke in the background. We got Max Mader coming in first place, his 8th first place of the event. We got Gian Stradiati, who has been hitting a lot of threes lately.
Would be really interesting to see the result now, because I see AP over H, I will say, on the boat. So it means that the rider will come back after this race. So
here we go. Max Mader finishing first in men's race 13. First race of the day. Very happy about that, but pushed all the way around the race course, wire-to-wire win. But Gian Stradiati handling the pressure from Riccardo Pianosi, and Riccardo Pianosi just getting crushed on that downwind leg, kite in the water, pushing a little bit too hard.
Yeah, we can see Jan Foster on the 3rd position, so he did really well job. On the back, I think, is Wojtek. Yeah,
Wojtek Koska in 4th place, and actually British.
Yeah, Sam Dickinson. So yeah, it's super nice to see him here. having a good race actually.
Sam was sitting in 7th place. Yeah, Jan from Germany, same, just ahead of him. Not much is going to change in those places, but maybe Lucas Fonseca being a little bit deeper. Vocek kind of hanging in there. He was in 4th going into this race, but Stragiotti certainly ahead of Riccardo Pianossi, and Pianossi putting his kite in the water maybe gave him a throw out and got him a lot closer to that 4, 5, 6, 7 position.
No, I think it will not go that far because we have the discard, which that you can remove the worst race you had. So we will see how the discard will work for him. But yeah, it will be hard for him to stay on the 2nd place.
Gotcha. Well, one thing we do know after the finish of this men's race is that there will be no racing for the women. It is 5:37 here in Sardinia, and bit of a heartbreaker. You know, things are staying the way they are for those women, but big changes with just one race for the men when we go into the qualifying series tomorrow because of this format. These are making a huge difference in terms of what everyone's race experience is going to be like, their pathway to win.
Yeah, unfortunately, the win window was really small today. We could see only at 5, maybe something. We get it. We did one race. It's already not bad. I think most of the riders didn't expect to have a race today. So, I mean, yeah, they have a race. Some people will be happy, some people not. But it's the sport, and yeah, it's super nice to see them on the water. I think most of them wanted to go back home before.
Cool. Well, let's we can get down to the beach and talk to some of these riders, huh?
Yeah, I think they will be back soon in the water, so it could be good to see how it was in the water.
Cool. Maybe we can throw it to one of our features, talk about some of the equipment with Connor Bainbridge from GBR and Blue Fox Boards while you and I head down to the beach.
Yeah, of course. Let's do it.
Sounds good. Let's go.
I started Blue Fox boards during COVID actually. I kind of couldn't really get a board that I really wanted to use on the race course, and I was always quite into designing and thinking up new ideas, and so during COVID I taught myself CAD, and Blue Fox boards was designed. You know, actually the intention was just to build one board for myself and race on a board that I'd designed and had made, and then more and more people got interested, and kind of the local Weymouth guys and the girls kind of started ordering them, and before I knew it, there was a company, and it was never really the intention, and suddenly, yeah, 4 years on now, and we have a board building company, which is pretty awesome. I think that all the different designers have their own idea of what a board should look like, and you know, I'm no different. I think every designer will admit that they have their own tendencies and their own styles that they're looking for, and kind of what I try to do in Blue Fox is remove that a little bit, and so I'm still getting the boards that I want and are looking like the design, but trying to take as much feedback and input as possible, which is why when you look at Blue Fox boards on the beach, you know, no two are the same, and everyone can have that custom look, and I've kind of built it on feeding from other people's opinions and other people's kind of ideas of what they wanted boards to look like. And when I was building those boards, it kind of goes into a pool of what we've then got for this cycle. So we've always kind of run custom boards, always, and I think the problem with custom boards is that it takes a little bit longer to design. It's quite an expensive process and quite a difficult process. And so what we wanted to do is try and make that choice a little bit easier. And so for 2025, we've released basically 2 ranges, which is the male board and the female board, which is in 2 different sizes. And from there, you can then have your normal options of having it set up for a tube hanger, setting up for a Levitas. But also in 2025, we've just released a new hybrid box, which basically allows you to have one board with multiple options, and so you can now jump between Levitas and tube hanger and other foil manufacturers and tune the angle a little bit more accurately, actually have a board which you can develop for your own riding style without having to just to buy another board, which I think is what the culture that we've got into the past 4 years. So the new board basically has a much longer box, which basically is based on the standard Tuttle box, and the problem with a tube hanger and a Levitas is they both run in different positions and different angles, and so the deck angle is set up so it's bang on in the middle between a tube hanger and a Levitas. And then we have these shims that fit in. And so for a tube hanger, you slip a shim in the front, screw it in from the normal way, and there you go, the board is set up for a tube hanger. And we offer this in multiple different angles. And so for girls that they're looking for different riding styles, and these are really cheap and easy to produce. And so we can be selling these, and you can have 4 or 5 for a different venue and decide. And then that simply pulls out, you slip the rear shim in, and now it's set up for Levitas. So it's really is that simple to now jump between foils, and you can now travel with one board and have multiple different foils that you're testing, which I felt was so important at this early stage of the cycle where people don't necessarily know what foil they're going to be using. And so the outset of buying several different boards and several different designs with different angles and everything else is an expensive one. And so the aim was to reduce that and actually make a board that works for both, but is also customizable for both. As everyone knows, with Blue Fox, we've always tried to get the shortest board. And as we were saying about design philosophy, it's always been kind of my philosophy that a shorter board, it's less surface area, it's less drag, and also it's a lot less weight in terms of that swing rate that you're getting. But one of the big problems that we did have was boards getting so short that super light winds was becoming a bit difficult and big touchdowns was difficult. So those are two areas that we really tried to focus on for the new generation of board. And so we've come up with this kind of bulbous nose concept, which basically creates a lot more volume up here in this front section. So 5 to 6 knots becomes a lot easier, but also those heavy touchdowns that you have become a lot easier as well. That combined with the tail cutouts that both me and Ellie were running at the Olympics, just the whole combination basically makes it a much easier board to use at lower winds, but also for those touchdowns and in the more hectic conditions, it kind of all brings it together. So these are our final boards that we've been working on for the last 4 years. So everything kind of that I've developed and the God knows how many prototypes and test boards that we've had have kind of brought us to these two designs. And so we're really excited to basically release them to the market. So both gold medalists were on Blue Fox boards and the female silver medalist was on Blue Fox boards as well. And I think we have past 3 years world champions in the female fleet and medals in most of the male events, both male and female events for the past 4 years. Blue Fox came from a random kind of a sit down, and it actually came out when I was 18. And I started selling adjustable downhaul systems, and the original company was called Blue Fox Water Sports, which was designed around ropes and splicing for windsurfing. And then it just came from then, and Blue Fox boards was a natural moving on point from that.
Okay, Ricky. So one race today.
Yeah.
Was sketchy. Look really sketchy out there. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Yeah, I was very, very light. Probably in the second lap, less than 3 knots. It was nothing. I did a second downwind. I jibe a little bit early, expect the other two. I finish in a big hole of wind. A lot of people swim there now. And nothing to do. I was trying to jibe, but I didn't manage. I fly with less wind than everybody, but it was impossible to restart from there. There is nothing.
Yeah, we see on the live was looking, even when you was going downwind, the angle was not super well, so we was expecting the wind lighter, but yeah, we saw that you missed the maneuver. Yeah, I mean, that's the race, unfortunately, but we'll see how it will go this evening.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ricky. All right, let's go to see with other rider, Wojta, who had also a good race over there. I think he finished 5 or 6 on this race. Wojta, how was it?
It was good. The conditions were looking good at the beginning, but after it's been turned and started to turning to offshore on the end, on the finish line, it was almost offshore, and we were completely coming different way as we started.
Yeah, it was looking super light. It was really light out there?
Yeah, it was about 5 knots somewhere.
Wow. Okay, and you're happy about your power ranking on this race?
Yeah, I mean, I end up now 4th, so was okay. Sorry.
Okay, that's what happened when the wind is light.
For the
Okay.
conditions, it was okay.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, so the riders are coming back ashore. The wind is really light. Kite are dropping in the water. Let's try to get Chris and find some interview of other riders.
All right, well, it's good to see Ricardo having good analysis of the race. All right, let's go check in with Max, okay? So just give me a little update on that. What was like the real critical moment for Ricardo?
Yeah, so basically the wind dropped quite a lot on the second upwind, and they decided to jibe really early. They went on the right side of the course, but the wind was super light. So he tried to make the jibe. Ricardo is really a master in light wind, so if he fell the jibe, it's really that mean that wind was super light. So yeah, the wind was light, then he fell, and unfortunately you cannot recover after it.
Absolutely, a ton of pressure there. Max, what a leg. Talk to me about that race. Did you notice that Ricardo hit the water while being pressed by Gian?
He hit the water.
Well, he dropped his kite in the water, so.
Oh, yeah, that I saw. I was looking around, and then suddenly I didn't see Ricardo anymore. I was like, where did he go?
Yeah.
And
So-
then I noticed that there was a black element kite floating in the water. So yes, must have been him.
So really light race. You kept your kite in the air. You kept pushing hard. We noticed on that first beat, you just what looked like overstanding ley line was perfect because Ricardo and Gian kind of had a harder time making around the weather mark, and then they all followed suit on the next weather leg. But what do you think the biggest strategy was in that light air for you?
I guess it was a clean start. I had one of the cleaner starts of the fleet, and then I managed to have space below me, which was very critical to ride the way I want to in my clean lane. And sometimes, you know, fortune smiles upon you with some nice space at the start, and I hit it well, and voila, you have a race that goes pretty well.
Awesome. And, you know, on that last run, Gian Stragiotti was right on you. I mean, he's been getting better and better this whole week. I mean, do you feel that pressure behind you? Do you feel him going faster?
You feel everyone going faster. I mean, Ricky and John both deliver pressure, and it's not like they haven't beaten me before, so it stays exciting to the very end, and definitely clean racing is in order if you want to stay ahead or if you want to be ahead at all.
Cool. Is there any shifting gears now that we think that this final qualifying series is over and we're going into the next qualifying series?
Well, the flag's not up yet, so that means that we still have potential for racing, and that's the mindset that you should keep, especially on days like this where it's on and off. Until you see that flag go up, you're still on the race course.
Awesome. You're keeping me honest. Thanks so much, Max.
With pleasure.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Oh, where is our... Oh, Gian. Where are you at, brother?
Quick one. I need to go to the coach.
You need to go to the coach. Can we just do 2 seconds?
Yeah, sure,
Okay,
sure.
cool. That downwind leg with the pass with Ricky.
Yeah.
Tell me about that moment.
Yeah, it felt good, obviously, but yeah, I don't know. I think I was in clean lane, so yeah, I don't know. I just could overtake him at the downwind.
It seemed like it was that jibe, that turn in that light air. Ricardo is one of the best in light air downwind racing, and there was something about that turn where that seemed like where the pass was made. Were you thinking about at that moment that I have to nail this?
Yeah, for sure. I was behind him and said, okay, I need to do a perfect jibe and everything perfect so I can come closer. But yeah, it worked out and I managed to, overtake him.
Awesome. I know there's a chance of some more racing, so I'll let you talk to your coach, but awesome job today, John.
Thank you very much. Thank you. See you.
Awesome. Wow, that was fantastic. So, all right, well, let's throw it back. I think we're just about done for today.
Yeah.
Nice working with you, Benny.
Yeah, it was super nice actually. Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at Nico. Thank you so much, and we'll see what happens for the rest of the day or to tomorrow. Good job.